Hey gang, what's good? It's your guy coming to you from the Zagnif Mobile, live from the 405, where the wind comes whipping down the plain in the heart of Oklahoma City on Conference Championship weekend. And y'all already know what it is. The Dawgs and the Crimson Tide at it again in Atlanta today, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. Dawgs come in favored by 6, but this is Alabama, coached by Nick Saban. And as we know, as we saw last week, Nick Saban has a knack for pulling a rabbit out of a hat. This is an Alabama team that is much improved from the early part of the season. Jalen Milroe has turned into an NFL caliber quarterback so far this on the second half of the season, making good decisions, knowing when to pull it down and run, knowing when to fling it downfield. Georgia has got to be on point. This is the thing. On the Georgia side of the ball, Carson Beck has been very calm and cool under pressure. Does have a tendency to put pickles on the sandwich when you didn't ask for him, because he's thrown a few interceptions. And then that's number one on the list. We have to avoid the offensive turnovers. We have to limit the Crimson Tide. Limit the run. The run has been the bane of our existence, especially in the first half of the game. We're going to have to play 4 complete quarters of ball. This is not a game where we can decide to wake up at halftime and do what we've been doing all season. Milton has got to stay healthy the entire game. Edwards, that's got to be a two-headed monster with the ground game. All of the receivers have got to be on point. We've had some problems with the drops this season. We can't have any of that. If Carson Beck puts the ball in your hands, you have got to catch it and reel it in. Those were several passes that could have been big touchdowns and opened up big leads and forced our opposition into having to switch up their game plan in order to keep up. Fortunately, so far this season, we are perfect in the win column, but this is the one we don't get a get back after today. So we've got to be perfect. On the flip side of that coin, like I said, Nick Saban, I'm going to give Nick Saban all the props in the world. I'm not that Georgia fan that's going to be like, screw those guys. I'm giving them all the respect in the world. If there's any team in the SEC that we need to give mad respect to as Georgia Bulldog fans, then it has to be the Crimson Tide. Period. We've not beaten, for all the accomplishments of the last 2 years, we've yet to beat Nick Saban in the conference championship. This is that last notch that we need to check off. I do truly believe that it can happen, and I do believe it can happen today with this team, with this squad. There's been this thing this year where, like, I believe it was the second Matrix at the very beginning, where Neo is fighting off all the agents with just one arm. Georgia's had this innate ability all season to hold off a team no matter what they throw at the Dogs with just one arm, and then wake up in the second half and play. Well, we can't afford to do that today, but if ever there was a time, if that's the game plan, then that one arm has got to be strong as hell. I'm just saying. So, I'm not even going to make a prediction for this game. I'm not going to make a score prediction. I think Georgia wins. I don't know by how much. I'm not even going to try. I think Georgia pulls this one out in a banger. Kirby Smart playing the shell game with Brock and Tate and Ladd. We know those guys are going to get trotted out on the field. This game is too big for them. These guys are all hardcore competitors. This game is too big for them to let coach just go, you're not going to play. So we'll see them. You know that. So anyway, I'm thinking the Dogs win, and I'm not going to say it's going to be a close or a blowout. I think the Dogs pulled this one out. And that's all I've got. You guys enjoy, because the Big 12 should be kicking up right now. OSU. Good Lord. OSU versus Texas for the Big 12 championship. And, of course, Texas last year in the Big 12 moving to the SEC. That one's sure to be a great game. You guys enjoyed that game. I will see you just before kickoff of ours. I'll catch up with you later. Go Dogs.